this is the first step that we are gonna jump in to the Arcanist tank in the Necrom patch and probably the future patches as well, which I'm gonna start with the 4-man content first of all, the tanking for the 4-man content. So there's a lot of things that I will touch in this video, including the trial setups too, but just in this video, for the sake of that video, I will just go through the dungeon version of the Arcanist tank. So the first thing is the character stats. We have 64 into health, which I will come why we have that. We have the Tri-Stat PvE Sugar Skull and the Mundus Stone that gives us maximum health as well. And as you can see, 21.3k Magicka, 44.1k max health and 23.4k maximum stamina with 1.7k mag recovery, 1.4k health recovery, 1k stam recovery, which is not our concern at all. So the reason that we have more health, that's because most of the skills is scaling with the maximum health on the Arcanist tank. So for that reason, I'm running the health 64 and the Mundus Stone as a Lord too, to buff it further. So of course, like, you can do some other stuff, etc., but it is not really necessary. Also, we are not a vampire. I'm thinking about it quite some time, but I never felt I need to be a vampire, by the way. You can be a vampire, but it is very good as it is, I would say. So the sets, as I mentioned, I told you that we have a 1.7k magic recovery. So two of the rings, one ring, one jewel, necklace, it doesn't matter, just two of them is infused magic recovery and one of them is infused and reduce the block cost. So as a jewel, we running 3 of them powerful assault, and on the back bar we have ice staff of the PA with the infuse and reducing the physical and spell resistances of the enemy. Basically, we're gonna pop up the vigor on the back bar and gonna proc the powerful assault set to give 307 weapon and spell damage to myself and up to 5 other people. So in total of 6 people within 12 meters, gonna get 307 weapon and spell damage for 15 seconds, and you can basically refresh it the whole time. And it is just gonna refresh, you can see the timer on my bar, 16, and boom, it is just refreshing the timer as well. I might be wrong about it, by the way, but it should be proccing. And as a helmet and shoulder, we are running Nazarite to buff the, let's just go to the main bar, to increase the duration of the major debuffs and minor debuffs applied to the enemies, extended by 1 second per 20 ultimate you have spent. This is quite good, so it is just debuffing the adds and enemies further and increasing the duration. Basically, it is very good. And on the front bar we have a master sword and board, the axe, one-handed, it doesn't matter, it can be sword, dagger, it doesn't matter since it is a sword and shield anyways. The axe is infused, reducing the weapon and spell damage of the target with the infused glyph, and the sturdy on the shield with the Tri-Stat glyph. Basically, you're gonna get a healing and also physical and spell resistances equal amount that you heal yourself. Also, the healing scales of your maximum health, so basically you have more max health and you're gonna heal yourself more and you're gonna get more resistances. So you can see it in here, like we have 27k resistances just with this one, and plus the vigor, and then boom, we have 30k resistance already, plus the master sword and board, and you are over the cap. So you can see in here the cap is 33k. It is either 50% or 33k resistance it is just capping it out. The more you have, it is not gonna work, but it is just always good to be a little bit over the cap, so it is 100% uptime. Like, you cannot pop up the vigor all the time, okay? So just with that Imperious Ward, if I'm not wrong, the skill, you just put this up and use the Master Shield. You're gonna get 6k from the sword on board, so we are 27 plus 6 is 33k. So the vigor is just a bonus, just in case. Alright, keep it, think of it like that. And also, I forgot to mention helmet and shoulder. We have the helmet sturdy with the tri-stat, and the shoulder is reinforced. I just wanted to use it on the small piece. You can also go sturdy all the way. There's no problem going sturdy in this case, alright? And the other set is Saxiel. Basically, you get a minor Aegis, stamina, and Magicka as well. And when you use ultimate while in the combat, it is kind of a trial set, but you give the people major force for 1 second per 15 ultimate spent, increasing the crit damage done by 20% of the people. So this set is completely flexible on that build, alright? This is the first thing you should know, because a couple weeks ago I actually spent quite some time figuring out what is the exactly perfect setup for the 4-man dungeon. The best ever setup for the 4-man dungeon. What you can do, alright? It is not Saxiel, by the way. Just so you know, it is not Saxiel. You don't need Saxiel. And as I said, it is just if you're not running Warhorn, in general, like a dungeon environment, you can pretty much use the Saxiel and give people major force. And this is quite good. All of them is sturdy and all of them heavy. 7 heavy, I'm wearing 7 heavy at the moment. 1 reinforced, 6 sturdy, and all of them has a Hakejo tri-stat glyph on it. So I kinda don't wanna come to the alternates. There's like spell power, cure, etc. You can combine Pearlescent, Yolnakrin, Turning Tide. There's a lot of stuff you can go. If you are at the crit damage cap, which is 125% on your DDs in your group, if you are running organized group, you don't need to run Saxiel, you don't need to run Warhorn, but you must opt out the Saxiel and run the Turning Tide instead, because this is the most damage that you are gonna get in the team. So this is pretty much that. There's a food, as I told you before, PvE Sugar School, it is obvious, I guess. And then we are using the tri-stat potion, max health, max magic, max stamina, and a little bit recovery as well. So if I pop up the potion, you can see 2133 mag recovery, 1830 health recovery, 1.3k stam recovery as well, which is quite nice to have. The skills we have on the front bar: Silver Leash to pull the enemies. I will not go into the details so much, and it just taunts it. It is not like a Dragon Knight chain, so you don't need to chain and then taunt with the pierce armor like we all do on the Dragon Knight. Okay, you just chain it with the Silver Leash from the Fighters Guild and they are already taunted. Runguard of Freedom. It is a beautiful skill, giving you minor resolve, giving you minor protection, and if your health goes below 50% health, the minor protection is gonna disappear and it is gonna heal you for 15k health, and of course it is gonna scale with the max health, and you also get an extra 3k armor, and it stacks with every kind of buff you get. It is just an extra. It is not minor resolve or something like that. So that 3k armor is gonna stack even with that minor resolve. That's the same skill that is giving. So basically you are gonna pop up from time to time to get some health back. If you are below 50% health and you are blocking, just put that skill up and you just go boom, max out. That's the best skill ever. Impervious Rune Ward, okay. Crook's Wearer Armor that I was talking about, that is giving major resolve, etc. I'm still confusing with the names on Arcanist. Impervious Rune Ward is giving you a 34.1k damage shield for 1 second, and then 20k damage shield for 5 seconds as well, if the first one persists. So you can see the effect, there's a big one, disappears after 1 second, and that one stands still and then disappears, of course. But the shield is pretty huge, and this is perfect to absorb some damage as well. Also, it is gonna consume the crux if you have a crux on your character, you know, the little triangle thingies that is turning, and when you use that skill, it is gonna heal you as an extra. And the reconstructive domain, it is gonna give you a lot of buffs, recovery, weapon spell damage, and also heals you like a extended ritual of the Templar. And your people, your teammates can go into it as well. So one of the things that you should notice about that, when you use that, you are in the middle of the skill, and the boss is gonna be here around, and the DDs is gonna be here around, just to make sure that you just pop it up, go to the edge, put the boss in the middle, and let your team be free in here instead of stacking your teammate on the edge, is the one of the advice that I should give. The Pierce Armor, destroying the resistances of the enemy, etc. You know that, and taunts it. And Gibbering Shelter, it is costing 108 ultimate. It is quite cheap. It is giving you and to your teammates a damage shield that is huge for yourself. It is giving you 110k. It is unbuffed, by the way, at the moment, alright? It is not buffed up. But when you buff up, it goes up to 130k damage shields, etc. And this is insane. And you also give to your people as well. You share the damage shield every second. It is looking nice too. And it is scaling with your maximum health as well. So for this reason, it is the one of the skills that is scaling. And you can proc the Sack Seal with this, or you can run the Glyphic of the Tides on your back bar if you have a healer on your team, and you can just pop up the Glyphic, and your teammate, the healer, is gonna heal that thing, and you basically give weapon and spell damage and health and also major protection to the people in a 15-meter radius that is quite huge. The back bar, Rune of the Colorless Pool, it is just to put the minor vulnerability and minor brittle to the enemy for 20 seconds. And it is very good. Runic Sunder, it is gonna deal a little bit physical damage, it doesn't matter. And the rune steals 2.2k armor and applies minor maim, reducing their damage down by 5%. It says the rune steals 2.2k armor, basically reducing the armor of the enemy. So when you think about it, the dungeon and trial bosses, etc., most of them have 18.250, if I'm not wrong. 18.250 resistances they have. So you can take it to the calculation too, because it is going to reduce the resistance of the enemy by 2.2k. So you basically gotta use that skill every 15 seconds. And the Blockade of Frost in here is just gonna give a little bit shield and gonna proc the back bar glyph that we have on the weapon, reducing the resistances too. That is huge. And this is a good thing. Shield enemies also afflicted with the minor breach, reducing their movement speed, etc. And the Crackspear armor, giving you major resolve, increasing your armor by 6k. And while the armor persists, when you take damage, it gives the minor breach to the enemy again. You might say, oh, this is the same buff like Runic Sunder. Yeah, but Runic Sunder also steals the resistance. This is why it is here. the attacks against you when you have that Crux Weaver armor is also gonna give you a Crux once every 5 seconds. So this is how you gonna get the Cruxes. So you just get Crux, and then pop up the shield, and you are gonna heal yourself so mad that you're gonna get shock through it. And the Resolving Vigor in here, you don't need the other morph, you just need to be selfish at that point, because that's the best one. Giving you resistances, and also giving you a insane heal. And as I talk, Glyphic of the Tides on the back bar, you can use that ulti, or you just go Gibbering Shelter on both bars if you don't have a healer in your team. And it is very good, like insane shield for you and for your teammates for the survivability. If I might add, sometimes you need to remove the elemental blockade and put the crashing shock if there's something that you need to interrupt. And this is the only flex spot that you can use. You don't need the altar or something like that, because that's also, you don't have a space to run those skills. That's the first thing, because you are supplying a lot of armor resistances, etc. and debuffs to the enemy already. You cannot do everything by yourself, like let other people do a little bit too. On the green one, it is not really necessary, but I'm running Rationer, Liquid Efficiency, Steed's Blessing, and the Professional Upkeep. On the blue one, we are running Unassailable, reduce your damage taken by 6% from AoE attacks. And during Resolve, reducing the dot attacks against you by 6%. And Duelist Rebuff, reducing the single target attacks damage that is dealing to you by 6%. And in here, if I'm not wrong, we have Ironclad, reducing the direct damage attacks you take by 6% as well. So this is the blue CP. And also, of course, you can get whatever you can get with your champion point as an extra. Like in here, here, this one, crit, here, the max stamina, etc., max magic. And on the right one, obviously Boundless Vitality, 1.4k maximum health we need. And in here, we have Pain's Refuge, reduce your damage taken by 2% for every 2 negative effects, up to a maximum of 20%. And I have what I have. Give me a second. I have the Ward Master, reduce your damage taken by 2%. In total of it is a 10% while you are blocking and under the effects of a damage shield. So when you block and you have a damage shield on you, which is an impervious thingy, the skill on the main bar is gonna give you 10% damage reduction. That is mad, like literally it is madness and so big. And my fourth one is in here, Bastion. Increases the effectiveness of your damage shields and damage against shielded enemies by 15%. So my shield is gonna work 15% better because I'm using so much shield during the fight, like this, etc. I'm using so much. Also, it is gonna buff the Gibbering ulti as well, and you are gonna get the huge numbers of the ultimate shields basically. And this is just mad. It is really, really mad, and it is very good shield. Like literally 54k damage shield. Wow, it is mad. You can even go more. You can go max health glyph on all of them. You can go healthy on the jewelry as well. So you are gonna buff the shields you get to the insane levels basically. And this one too, it is mad. It is very good. It is good also in the PvP too. I tested out. And for now, it is pretty much the setup. I'm gonna leave you with a little bit of gameplay with the setup, and I hope you enjoy this class and the character too. I know I'm a little bit late, but I just wanted to make it perfect, the setup, and in order to give you a very good proper build at the end. So the next two videos is gonna be for the trial main tank and the off tank. There's not much really too many changes between this and the trial setup. So for that reason, as I mentioned, that you can just change the sets and stick with the CPs and the skill points, and you can pretty much go to the trial and move on with it. It is gonna work 100%, 150%. It is gonna work and you are not gonna get any problem. So I will leave you with the gameplay, just a little clips and cuts, etc. And see you all in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and take care of yourself.
I can't sleep, yeah. Only miss you when I'm breathing in too deep, yeah. Am I just your little secret? I didn't hear the sirens. I didn't wanna see the warning signs, and now I pay the price, yeah. Oh, I should've known. It hits me like a tidal wave every time you say my name. It hits me like a tidal wave. It hits me like a tidal wave. A tidal wave. Tidal wave. Tidal wave. Tidal wave. I was so blind, waiting patient on the shoreline. Now you're leaving, but I know you got your reasons too. I didn't hear the sirens. I didn't wanna see the warning signs, and now I pay the price, yeah. Oh, I should've known. It hits me like a